Hi, and welcome to Focus, Grow, and Thrive. I'm Jim Vasconcellos, and today my guest is David Lallier. Dave is a longtime friend and colleague. Dave, could you tell a bit about your background? You have a very robust background, and how you came to develop this program called Twist.
Sure. I had been speaking for, I don't know, 25 or 30 years publicly. Spoken to probably over 100,000 what I like to call laughing, smiling participants in 8 countries, 3 continents, 2 hemispheres. So I've enjoyed every minute of it. And the model we're going to talk about today is called TWIST. It's an acronym, and it stands for the way I see things. And if you think about it, TWIST is really nothing more than your perception. Okay. And I think we can probably all agree that how we perceive the world is different for each one of us. So therefore, the idea is that each twist is different. Your twist is different than mine, is different than anybody else's. The idea behind it is, and I think the point to be made at the beginning is, how many have ever tried to change somebody else's behavior and have that work out for you?
Oh, well.
No, it doesn't work at all. And I think from a business point of view, if you're a supervisor or manager or have been, or even a subordinate and have had a supervisor who does this, if you try to change somebody's behavior in the workplace, can you do it on a short-term basis? The answer is obviously yes. If you put a consequence in front of somebody they're not willing to pay, that behavior will change in the short run. But what happens when that consequence goes away?
Behavior goes right back to where it
Back to where
was.
it was, because the twist or the perception of that behavior has not changed for the other person. Okay. So, what we're going to talk about today is something that you do every day in your life intuitively. What this model is going to give you is actually a format to make this process work. Okay. And so you'll look at the model itself and you'll see twists and choices and behavior and results. That's what the model looks like. And we always work it from backwards. Okay. The idea is, if you, let's say you and I are in conflict with one another, be in a personal relationship or a business relationship, whatever it might be, and I'm not getting the result from that relationship that I want, what's the very first thing I have to do in order to try to bridge that gap? If I'm not getting what I want, what's the first thing I have to figure out?
What you do want.
What I do want. So I have to identify the result I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to figure out, what behavior am I doing, not worried about the other person right now. What behavior am I doing that's contributing to the behavior that I don't want? And equal as important, what behavior do I need to do to get the behavior, the result that I do want? So once I've identified how I need to react to that, then I know what my behavior needs to be. But I guarantee that my behavior will only change short term unless I work my model all the way backwards and get to the twist piece. Okay. And twist is the way I see things. So my perception of that behavior mentally and emotionally has to change for that behavior to change permanently. The idea behind this is, sometimes, depending on the severity of the situation, you can work this model on your own and make it work. A couple of examples that I'll give you in a minute are examples that personally happened to me that I could not work through on my own. I had to have a mentor to give me the information I needed to make it work, and we'll walk through it real quickly. Years and years ago, I now have a 26-year-old. When she was 4 or 5, was teaching her how to ride a bicycle. So the minute I took the training wheels off the bicycle, what invariably happened to her?
She tumbled over.
Tumbled over, skin to knee, skin and elbow. So Chloe's looking at this bicycle as an instrument of terror. So her behavior is what?
I'm not riding that thing
Well, any
anymore.
part of that thing, right? So I wanted her to have a different result. The result I wanted her to have was to enjoy the bicycle, right? So does her behavior have to change? Sure, you have to get on the
Yes.
bike, right? Okay. I can't make her do that. I can't force her into that. That's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So my job as her coach is to help her see the world differently, help to see the bicycle differently. In other words, feed her some information to help her change her twist. And the way you do that is you give them new language and new perceptions. Okay. So I need to feed her the information she needs to start shifting the way she looks at the bicycle, so she looks at it differently than she did as an instrument of terror. And some of that language may be, you can ride fast, you can ride with your buddies, you can go to the store, you can have the wind in your hair, whatever those words and magic might be. If I can get her to absorb that and internalize it, her twist starts to shift. Therefore, her behavior starts to shift. So the question is, did I change her twist? No.
No.
She changed her twist.
Yeah.
All I did was give her new ways of looking at it to give her an opportunity to change her twist. So if you put this into the workplace and you're having a conflict in the workplace, You have to identify what's my behavior that's contributing to that conflict. And what do I have to do to change? The secret is if the dynamic changes because you change, something has to happen, right? The other person has to change in some format if the dynamic changes, because now they're not getting what they were looking for.
Is that, look, managers and leaders, they need to self-manage.
Absolutely.
And I love the
statement. As do workers, as do employees. Everybody needs to self-manage.
Yeah. I love the point that you made too, said as a coach. Even though these things can be intuitive, it's awareness that's really important for managers and leaders. And I think when you frame that as a coach, if your mind can change that way, right, you're changing your own perception of your team members as well.
Correct.
That you'll slow down and spend this time. And we're looking at say team members or conflict in the workplace, right? What's the framing that you think is really critical in this area of twist?
Well, I think the first thing you want to identify is obviously you have to identify what behavior you want them to do, right? And then you have to kind of figure out what does their twist need to be to get there. Now, the easiest way I find out to figure out what somebody's twist is to ask them. It's real simple. You know, why are you feeling the way you're feeling, or what's driving you to that behavior? If you can start that dialogue, it becomes very open. It becomes very honest and very true. And once that dialogue starts happening and you can identify the twist, then you can start, I mean, the example of Chloe, why won't you get on the bicycle? Because I got hurt. Got it. So now I know her twist, right? So I can now formulate the words I need to do to help start shifting that twist. So just asking somebody how they perceive something does, one, you learn how they perceive it, and two, it makes a connection because you're genuinely interested in what they're feeling and thinking.
It sounds like you're working to break down the barriers.
Absolutely.
Between you two.
Because the conflict will continue to escalate unless those barriers are reduced or hopefully eliminated.
This is something that you have to build a good, healthy habit around.
Yep.
It's too easy, like you said, oh, this person's not doing what I need. So where's my authority or power to make this happen?
Right.
And it seems like this funnel that gets people into more of a forceful mentality versus like what you're saying, look, this is not about me getting what I want. It's helping this individual, helping lead them to what we both want.
Yeah. An analogy that I've used when I do this particular program is the difference in a leader and a manager is a leader can go on vacation for 2 weeks and the place runs better when they're gone. And a manager's scared to go to lunch because a leader literally has that connection with the people that work for them to where they're going to perform at their highest level with or without that person there. If a manager has an entirely different dynamic because the twists are conflicting, that they're scared to go to lunch because the place will fall apart.
Yeah. Great premise, great tips, Dave. Listen, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing these insights with us. This is a tremendous program that you have on this, and it's really something that I think we all need to work on. And like you said, not just in the workplace, this can help us in all areas of our life.
Absolutely.
And listen, I hope you'll come back again so that you and I can chat some more.
I would love it. Appreciate the time.
All right. Dave, can you give people one last tidbit, and that is about how to contact you about these programs that you've designed?
Yeah, the organization is called Rapid Learning Programs, and it's a real simple email. It's my name at Yahoo. So I'll spell it LALLIER.David@yahoo.com. That'll get you to me. Cell phone number for that contact would be 512-650-9286. Would love to explore this with you, see if there's an opportunity for us to work together. And I think we can bring huge value to your organization.
Great. Great, Dave. Thanks for your time, buddy.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, Jim. Thank you.
All right. See you soon.
You too. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening and joining me on the journey to focus, grow, and thrive. Subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time.